Overpopulation is the malady of modern cities. The problems of housing, inadequate public facilities, and natural population increase add to the distress of big cities. This situation is accentuated by forceful eviction of populations during wars. June 1967 was catastrophic to the Palestinians. The refugees who 2 decades earlier sought refuge in UNRWA camps on the West Bank of Jordan and the Gaza Strip now fled again. Twice in a lifetime, hundreds of thousands of Palestinian refugees were uprooted from their humble homes in UNRWA camps and evicted eastwards by the Israeli army during the war. The aftermath of June 1967 was awesome on Jordan. It was a major blow which nearly ruined decades of planning and development. The government of Jordan, with emergency relief from other Arab countries and UNRWA, hastily accommodated the newly displaced Palestinians in makeshift camps throughout the country. Amman's share of the burden was cumbersome. With no foreseeable solution to the political problem, many of these makeshift dwelling places smoldered into slum areas. By the end of the 70s, studies showed that Amman had over 20 such places. They were in dire need of upgrading. Eastwahdat area deteriorated the most. Mostly squatters, these shanty quarters grew out of proportions. Living conditions were far below standards, lacking basic needs and utilities. All of the Eastwahdat 500 families were squatters. The regulations did not allow the city of Amman to extend public facilities to such areas. All economic, health and social problems of overpopulation were present. Eastwahdat housed 4,000 people over an area of 8 hectares. From the outset, UDD established a field office at Eastwahdat. Vital statistics and land surveys had to be gathered through painstaking individual interviews with a population fearful of eviction. The greatest effort was conducted by UDD social workers. Each family had to be carefully interviewed to identify all problems. Special regulations had to be drawn up with municipal legislators to allow for small land allotment and lesser building restrictions. According to the needs of the population of Eastwahdat, flexible housing models were designed to fit land plots appropriated according to individual needs and income. Such plots varied from a minimum of 60 square meters to a maximum of 200. Financing the project at Eastwahdat and other sites in Amman assigned for upgrading came from 3 sources divided almost evenly: the Jordan government, Jordan Housing Bank and the World Bank, totaling $60 million. Upgrading Eastwahdat site involved several factors. The construction plan was simple and took all considerations for Arab-Muslim customs and traditions. Each plot was provided with a sanitary core and a front wall, and was connected to water supply, electricity and sewers. Roads and footpaths were built to give easy access to each plot. The price of each plot included all these facilities and the cost of land. The project at Eastwahdat provided adequate land for housing with all necessary public services and community utilities, such as women training center, health clinic, shopping facilities, and a social center. The project organized land ownership and construction systems. Developing the local community in Eastwahdat was another prime target of the project. Productivity of manpower was enhanced by training all possible labor residing within the project, and special attention was paid to increase women participation. Once they realized they had a chance to change their lifestyle as squatters, own their homes, and to improve their living conditions, families began to work doubly hard to increase their incomes. The UDD offered all possible facilities and help. The remainder rested up on the shoulders of the people of Eastwahdat. There is a little secret behind the speed by which HUDC was upgraded. The residents were not removed to make way for construction works. Instead, they developed a unique method by which they fulfilled the task. With the help of the neighbors, the old shack was carried to the corner of the land plot. The resulting space was used to build the first room. The family lived in it. The old shack dismantled, the rest of the house was completed. This system worked miracles. As a result of this persevering and relentless will, the past image of HUDC was irrevocably changed. The community center of HUDC was built by the UDD. It provides a variety of services planned and implemented by the community participation and offers preschool classes for youngsters. The community center conducts illiteracy elimination classes for adults.
زعموا أن جماعة من الكردة كانت تسكن في جبل فالتمست نارا في ليلة باردة. نجيب ومن قدام هيك وبنحط الإشارة هيك.
Film showings and public lectures on public health and first aid procedures are regularly conducted in this center. Over 190 members attend courses in knitting, sewing and typing at the Women Training Center built by the UDD on HUDC site. The success of upgrading HUDC is shown in the impact which radical social change left on the inhabitants. The first and foremost advantages have been shown in improved health conditions. This was attained by improving conditions of the environment, public health awareness, and providing medical care within reasonable reach. The welfare of each family monitored at the beginning and at the end of the project has shown marked development in the standard of living. Self-respect and dignity returned to the people of what once was an appalling slum area. Cost recovery of this vital project was successful. Most important is the spiritual and humane significance of this national endeavor. Community participation was a vital element for the success of this project. Cooperation of the inhabitants with government staff and contractors proved essentially helpful. A glance at HUDC's scrapbook makes one wonder how such people with limited income have been able to absorb and implement this massive transformation over a relatively short period. It seems as if these people were in a state of deep slumber, awaiting someone to wake them up and show them the way to help themselves. This is exactly what the Urban Development Department has done.
خليل في والله والله ما صورة على الحياة. في خليل في والله